feel the motherfucking vibe.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Vibe. Today on the podcast, we have Colin, a.k.a. Flat Stanley. Thank you so much for joining us.
What up?
So let's get started here. How long have you been producing / DJing?
So now it'll be 6 years.
6 years?
6 years, January 1st was my anniversary.
Okay, right on.
So I think I chose an easy one to remember.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you remember your first show?
I do. First ever show was it was in Chicago.
Oh,
really? It was at a bar, and there was actually a good crowd there. It was actually it was pretty decent. I got booked by this guy named Brian Flint. He went by Good Dreams. I'm pretty sure he still does. He had me down there, and I had a bunch of people from Grand Haven, where I'm from.
Oh, right on.
They all came down. It was really cool.
Hell yeah.
It was just really sweet to go down there and play my first set. In all honesty, I did not know how to DJ.
Really?
No idea what I was doing.
Really?
But I somehow did it.
Wow.
I was like, all right. So I tried to remember how other shows I've seen. They just go from song to song. So I just thought that. I was like, okay, how can I go from song to song? I didn't know about beat matching. So
Really?
It was, decent set.
Yeah.
Butchered nonetheless.
Yeah. All things considered, you made it through the end. Right?
I made it through the end, and I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah,
so.
right on. I'm sure it was a lot easier for you to see familiar faces out in the crowd too.
It was nice when I could look out and see really, really good friends. People I've known my whole life.
Yeah.
So that was the best part, was just being able to look out there.
Yeah.
All right, we're okay. I'm not alone.
It's all good.
I'm not by myself.
Right on. Let's hear the story behind your DJ name, Flat Stanley.
That came from a college party. There's a guy, his name's Chris Sanders. I know him as Chris Mills. Okay, so this was at my brother's fraternity when he was going to Michigan State. I was in my brother's room with him and a bunch of other people, drinking, smoking, all that good stuff. And Chris Mills bursts in the room wearing an Abercrombie shirt, just some slacks, some flip-flops, and he had a big old floppy hat, big old sunglasses on, and a pink feather scarf. I'll never forget this. And he just goes, he walks in, and I shit you not, looks at me and says one thing. Doesn't say anything to anybody else. Just looks at me and goes, "You look like a Flat Stanley." And then he left the room. And I was like, okay. This is when I was 15, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm 15 years old. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm a Flat Stanley. Hell yeah, man. So then when I decided to start DJing and start producing, I was talking to him because he works at Sweetwater. So he became my music guru.
Okay.
He became the guy that I go to buy anything, to get anything I need, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what should I go as? I'm thinking about going as Ocove, OCOV. I was gonna go as that, and he goes, "Dude, go buy Flat Stanley." And I was like, sold, done, and the rest is history from there. But yeah, it came from a college party. It was just one of those moments that it was meant to be.
Right.
So
yeah, absolutely. You just picked it up and ran with it. That's dope.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your sound?
Multi-genre. I can't really describe it. I mean, it's whenever I sit down and I go, I'm gonna write this genre today, I end up writing a completely different genre.
Yeah.
Unless it's reggae. If I say I'm gonna write reggae, I'll write I'll go run through reggae dub.
Yeah.
Because I love that.
I love
it. I love that. Future bass is another one that I really got into for a while, and then I started getting into the more weird stuff. That's what I've really been getting into now, is really trying to make my tracks move more rather than having that when I first was getting more into it, it was more of the same melody over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's more of okay, how can I really pour all of my knowledge into every track that I make?
Right.
It constantly changes.
Yeah.
I can't stick to one genre.
Yeah.
And that's it makes it hard to DJ. I'll be honest.
Sure.
I shoot myself in the foot a lot. I shoot myself in the foot a lot because I'm going to go play all original set. And then I'm like, how? How am I going to do this?
No.
It's going to be switching genre. All right, here's some feels. All right, here's some bass in your face. All right, here's some more feels. All right, here's some funk. It's like, you know.
So your sets aren't pre-recorded, you're kind of just on the fly?
Yeah, they're always on the fly.
Yeah.
I've probably planned maybe 2 sets my whole career.
Really? Wow.
Like when I say planned, I don't mean pre-record or anything. I mean like I actually went through, created a whole playlist, all that stuff of like songs I wanted to play. And but every single set has always been on the fly except for like I'll maybe choose the intro song.
Okay.
Just to be able to kind of build into it, whatever I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So.
Mad respect for that, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. So your career really kind of took off when you won the Untz Challenge. Do you want to talk about what the Untz Challenge is and how all that started?
I mean, it was... So, I've had a friend that's been a part of, you know, everything with me since the beginning. Since when I first got to play opening for Manic Focus at the intersection. I met a guy, his name's Josh Osborne, and he has been photographer for me ever since.
Okay.
Like, I met him, he liked my set a lot, and then him and I just became really good friends. And then he became really good friends with, you know, who now is my wife.
Okay.
And everything just kind of took off from there. And then as you know, because we all just became kind of a team. And so I didn't even know what the Untz Festival was. And then Josh comes up to me one day and he just goes, "Hey, like, you should write a song and submit for the Untz." And I'm like, "The hell is that?" You know, like, what is that? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And then I look into it and then I realize, oh my God, the grand prize is like, you get to go and travel the country and go and do a bunch of crazy stuff. And so I was like, all right. So I sat down that night, started writing the song that I called Bloom. That was what ended up winning the staff pick. And it was crazy to me because when I first started, when they first, like, you know, announced it and all that stuff and the voting started, I was number 1 for the first 3 days on the votes. I was like, hell yeah. Like, and then Lifted, the other guys that they won the popular vote, they just surpassed me.
Yeah.
Surpassed everybody.
Yeah.
Super fast. Like in a week they had like, I think it was like 1,000 votes or something.
They probably had a big following.
So I just said, all right, well, I'm not going to win that. Oh, well, like, you know, screw it. So then, you know, I'm working at Buffalo Wild Wings at the time at this point. And I get, all of a sudden, like, I'm serving at a table and I feel my phone go off. Like, I feel it vibrating. And I'm like, okay, that's like, who's calling me right now? So then I go out to, and this is all someone I used to smoke cigarettes. So, you know, I'm going outside to take my smoke break for the 80th time of the day. And then I go check my phone and I see it's a call from California. And I'm like, who the hell? And it said Mariposa, California. And I didn't click the 2 and 2. Because the Untz Festival is in Mariposa, California. It's actually right next to Yosemite National Park.
Wow. Like,
you can literally see, like, almost see the entrance from it.
Wow.
It's dope.
I bet. Yeah.
If we would have had time, we would have gone.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm like, okay, whatever. So I call it. And then this guy answers. He goes, "Hi, this is Avi Gallant." He's like, "Is this Colin?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is." And then he goes, "Well, just want you to know that you have been chosen by the staff to be our staff pick winner for the Untz Festival this year, or the Untz Challenge this year." And I was just like, "What?" Like, I'm sitting on the phone. I'm like, "Who are you?
Yeah.
What?"
Yeah.
And then he literally, I'll never forget. He goes, "Take a breath. This is real. This is happening." And I was just like, "Huh." Oh my God, like, I started literally immediately freaking out. And I'm trying to hold it back. I'm like, heck yeah, man. Like, I'm trying to remain like cool, you know? I'm just like, yeah, dude, sure, yeah, totally, I'm down. Yeah, I'll be at every festival. Yeah, don't even think about how I'm going to get there. Right. And I'm just like, yeah, totally, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, totally. So I got a phone. I start bawling. I'm like, oh my God, I did it. Like, I'm just freaking out. Yeah. I called Josh right away. I wait till I get out of work. I was like, luckily I was getting out of work in like 20 minutes after that call. Yeah. So I called Josh right away, told him. He just started, like, I just all of a sudden hear the phone drop and him scream. And then I leave work, drive straight to my wife's work, because she worked at B-Dubs as well, but she worked in Muskegon. I worked in Holland. Oh, okay. So I drove straight to her, and then I just was like sitting there as I was walking in. I'm like, you need to talk to me right now. Like, this shit's happening. Right. And then I sit down with her and I tell her, and she was like, what? And then I just started telling everybody. Yeah. I was just like, this is happening. And then but they told me, like, don't announce just yet. Like, we'll let you know. So then they finally let me know, and then I had to wait a week to announce because they were just trying to get everything prepped, get the, articles ready, all that stuff. And then I said, like, hey, I posted on Facebook being like, I have the biggest announcement of my entire life happening in a week. I was like, I will be announcing it via live video, like, whatever. Mm-hmm. So just be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Soon as I started up that live video, I had like 7,000 people in it. I
was one of them. I remember watching it.
Like, literally just that. Mm-hmm. I had done live feeds before, and I maybe have like 15, 20, 5.
Yeah.
And then, but 7K in like literally about like 30 seconds was just like, whoa. And like the shares were just going. The fucking like people were just, I was just sitting there just like, I'm waiting to tell you. I'm waiting to see how many people get in here now. Yeah. And then I, said it, and I bawled my eyes out. As soon as I got off that live feed, I was crying for like an hour. It was insane, dude. Like, that was probably the coolest experience I've had. Yeah. I mean, I learned so much about myself, about my team, about music industry in general. Yeah. It's a dog eat dog cutthroat world out there. I'll tell you that much. But it's also very beautiful, very friendly, and very informative. Yeah. They will show you the way. Yeah. And it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. So. Hey, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Like I said, it was really emotional watching the emotion that you had for winning, because you could feel it, while you were talking. Like, that was just unbelievable and so raw, and just like, I fucking did it, right? Like, and then you were set on your journey, right?
Yeah, now every year somebody goes and shares the video again, so then it gets another like few hundred views, and then I'll get people messaging me being like, congratulations. I'm like, this happened like 4 years ago. Like, thank you, but this happened a while ago. Like, check the timestamp.
Yeah, so that set forth your journey, and so you were able to go to a couple festivals. Now talk about what ones you were able to hit.
I got to go and hit, so big one is the Home, Electric Forest, Imagine in Atlanta, Rise, Sonic Bloom, both in Colorado, Summer Camp, the Untz, and then I also had Dance Festopia. So really, I got 6 out of them.
Major festivals.
But all major. Like, they were just all...
Major.
And I gotta say, they were all just such unique experiences. Yeah. Each one of them. Not one of them was like the same feeling. Yeah. Not one of them had like the same crowd size. Not one of them had the same, energy or whatever. It was either like... But they all had just amazing feel. Yeah. Like, and I will say this was the coolest part, is every single one of them, even across the country, I saw people I knew, and it was just like, this is dope as fuck. Yeah. It was so cool, because then I'd hang out with them for a little bit, get like catch up. Yeah. Like,
you never feel like you're alone, right?
Yeah, exactly. Part, right? Never felt like I was really alone. That's awesome. And I will say, most of the we drove all the way out to California. Yeah. So we had the summer camp and then the Untz. And the Untz is in California, so we went to summer camp. Me, Josh, and Molly.
What were you guys driving? Just like a big bit?
We were driving my dad's Honda Pilot.
Really?
Yeah, we drove that, because none of our cars were good enough to make it. Yeah. None of our cars were ready to go. Like, I was ready to just take my piece of shit car and be like, I'm doing it. Yeah. I don't care one way or the other. Right. I'm making it. Yep. And I will say though, I gotta give credit to the people, because without them, I wouldn't have made it. I opened a GoFundMe. Really? And I think we got close to $7,000.
Wow.
To like help me get around.
That's awesome.
It was insane.
That's
like
awesome.
I never, like, that's something that you don't forget. Yeah. Like, that's something that I sat down and contemplated, because I was like, I don't want to make it look like I'm begging. Right. I don't want to make it look like I'm like, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, and so, like, I'll be honest, right? I was right before I had to go to work. It was like noon, and I'm just getting done with like getting a shower. I'm just getting ready. I'm just sitting on my couch in underwear, and I'm like, do I do this? Do I post this link? Mm-hmm. And so, like, I already had it all typed up and everything. Mm-hmm. And I almost canceled it and almost just said, I'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, there's no figuring this out. Like, there was no way I'd be able to make that happen. Yeah. And, like, I look back on that now, and I still know there was no way I would have been able to make it happen without the people's help.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
Then I shared it. And then within 5 minutes, I had $5. And I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I was like, this is dope. Mm-hmm. And then within less than 3 hours, I was up to $1,000.
Wow.
It was just like
That's insane.
boom, 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 and then it just got shared everywhere, and then people were just helping out. Like, it was just
Love
like, I didn't have one person that did like a ha-ha react about it. I didn't have anybody say anything negative. That was what surprised me the
That's
most.
awesome.
I was blown away because it
That's
was just
awesome.
like everybody was just trying to help.
I think that can kind of speak volumes to what this scene is like.
Exactly.
You know, like these are genuine people, you know, who care.
It's a
and
beautiful community.
It is. It really is.
Like, I'm so blessed and thankful to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a family feel that it's like I can go to there's sometimes, you know, yeah, we have the bad eggs and whatnot, but
Right. Yep.
I mean, what area of the world doesn't?
Right. Exactly.
There's always going to be that bad egg or that attitude or whatever, and it's just, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
They won't last long.
Right, yeah, and the
They're
people
just-
who, you know, aren't that way know how to, you know, combat
Exactly.
that. You know,
Exactly.
with love.
Exactly.
So,
And that's all that matters.
Mhm,
That's all that
exactly.
matters.
So that's an incredible story, man, to be able to
It's insane.
do that and then have that, you know, fuel your journey and to make it what it was. Like,
Mhm.
and without it, it wouldn't have been.
I
what
will
it
say
was.
this was the craziest part. We only spent the money on travel expenses, and, like, you know, we camped. We never went out to eat.
Mhm.
We never ate any of the food from, like, the vendors at the festivals or
Mhm.
anything. We only bought groceries and cooked ourselves the whole time.
Yeah.
And that money that we got literally was the perfect amount to get us home.
That's nuts.
We went all the way across,
Every
all the way
dollar well
around,
spent.
and then on our last bit from my wife and I, when we were driving back from Atlanta, that was the last festival because it was in September.
Mm.
When we were coming back from Imagine, literally the last bit of money was enough to fill up our tank and get us home.
That's how you know
It was
right?
fate. It was like, holy shit, no way.
Yeah.
Because I asked her, I was like, did we have any left over or anything like that? And she goes, no, that was literally enough to get us home. Wow. It was mind blowing.
That's
dude.
awesome.
Mind blowing to
That's
think about.
awesome.
Because, like, I mean, really what happened was I didn't touch any of that money.
Mm-hmm.
She handled everything.
Yeah.
I was like, I owe it to her for really just holding it down.
Yeah.
I mean, she went ham with it.
Yeah.
Like, she budgeted everything.
Yeah.
I mean, now she has full control of everything.
Yeah.
Like, all of the Flat Stanley finances.
Mhm.
Because it's like, I'm just, I'm too sporadic.
Yeah.
I'm too all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I'm, if you saw my little studio room, I mean, now it's clean. But if you saw it like 2 weeks ago, you would have been like, the fuck is this? Like, I mean, yeah, you know. So it's just crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. I'm sure all those festival experiences were great. Is there one that kind of stands out
Arise.
above the rest?
100% Arise.
Yeah.
Arise Music Festival.
Where's
I
that
got to, that was in Colorado.
Okay.
It was in Loveland, Colorado. I got to meet Atmosphere. I got to party with some of the craziest, like, coolest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
But Rise was the coolest because when I first started playing, so, like, how their stage was, it was like a smaller stage, but it wasn't like super tiny or anything or super huge.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on, you know, I'm standing on the stage and they had this cool carpet, like this rug that you, like, you know, had like the table on and stuff. And so I'm sitting there, you know, I'm like, get started. And that was like a 90% original set. But how it started was I had like 4 people out in front of me, and I was just pumped because right before I started, this dude walks up to me, like walks up to the stage and goes, "Hey, are you Colin?" And then I'm like, yeah, and then, you know, I walk up to him, shake his hand, and he said that he's been listening to me for a couple of years, and I was just like, holy shit. I was like, holy shit, bro, like, where are you from? And he goes, I'm from here, I'm from Colorado. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And so then I started playing, and, like, I had him and a few other people, and then I just stopped looking at the crowd. Like, I just stopped looking at it. I just started just kind of toning in, like, toning into the playing and stuff. And this was, like, when I first started using CDJs, too.
Okay.
And so I'm just, like, trying to focus. And then I just remember I went to go drop into one of my songs, and I looked up. And there was, like, at least 400 people just standing there. And here's the other best part. Pouring down rain.
No way.
It was fucking dope. It was so sick, dude. I was like, people were just sitting there just getting the fuck down, and I'm sitting there getting down. The rain's coming. I'm just like, oh my god, this is like one of the coolest, highest energy feelings I ever had.
Yeah.
And it was so dope.
Yeah.
And I was so thankful for that festival.
Yeah.
And then Forest, though, this was the coolest one. Like, this one was like the coolest, like, in a sense, because it was home.
Yeah.
But real home feel was I played silent disco.
Mm-hmm.
I had golf clap on the other channel playing right next to me. And I had...
It was a Michigan local.
The Michigan locals.
Mm-hmm.
I had the blue channel. They had green. And one of the coolest feelings in the world was looking up and then just seeing all blue. And then finding out later, couple things. Number one, they ran out of headphones. They had to turn people away. Number two, Waka Flocka came to come listen to my set.
No
they had to turn them away. I'm not kidding. This shit happened. The security guard told me.
Wow.
I had other people behind me in the backstage little area of the silent disco telling me about it.
No
I was
way.
like, no fucking way. Like, Waka Flocka came to come see my set. Like, okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, I was blown away by that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that I'm like I hold so dear to my heart. Like, ever since No Hands, man. Ever since that song came out, I've loved Waka.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it was such a cool feeling.
Right on.
Because it was just like hearing that and then going up to the security guard, I was like, I kind of gave her a hard time. I was like, how did you turn away Waka? He's a 6 foot tall dude, like he's huge. Like, how did you turn him away? She was like, I didn't know he was until right after.
Oh man.
And I was just like,
Could have used my DJ headphones, man. Like,
yeah, I would have given him my headphones and not cared.
Right.
But it was so cool, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was just such a cool feeling, and I saw, like, during that time, like during my set, I had so many people, like, because like when you're looking out, like where you're standing in the stage, it's like a little cover, and like you can only see so far out because it's really dark, and I played from 12 to 2 a.m. And so it was really, really dark, and I couldn't really see much in front of me. But just randomly, I'd have people come up and like come and give me a high five. And these are people I haven't seen in like 10 years.
Wow.
And I'm just like, holy shit, like where the hell have you been?
Yeah,
You know, like I
yeah.
saw a dude that he came up to me right after my set and stuff. Came up to me, and I've known him since like childhood, and he actually moved away. He moved away when we were in 5th grade. But him and I were really good friends. And he came up, and I didn't even recognize him. He was like, "Oh, Colin." And I was just like, "What's up, dude? Like, you know, great to meet you." And he goes, we know each other. And then it hit me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I haven't seen you in literally almost 20 years. Like, This is fucking nuts.
Wow.
Like, mind-blowing,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
A full circle kind of
Literally,
experience, right?
completely.
That's awesome.
Completely. And that's
so cool.
like, so Arise and Forest were definitely, like, top tier to me just because of just how beautiful it felt.
Yeah.
All the festivals were amazing.
Yeah.
All of them had very unique experiences. I
Mm-hmm.
had really great time. But it was you know, those two were just like the ones that stood out because it was just like, holy shit.
Right on. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Any other crazy experiences at those festivals that you want to touch on, or was that pretty much? Pretty much it?
I mean, there was. At Forest, I will be straight up. Like, this one's kind of a scary experience.
Yeah.
But it was kind of it was crazy. One of those things. So the first weekend, it sold out. The second weekend was the weekend I played, and that wasn't sold out yet, or it didn't sell out. I mean, but the first weekend, I played a few sunrise sets. That was really fun.
Nice.
On top of RVs. That
Nice.
was really fun.
Sweet.
But this was like crazy. Was that there was this kid that, he was so like fucked up. Like, I'm talking like he looked like he was tripping.
Yeah.
He had a gash over his head, like over like his forehead. So we were all sitting in my buddy Rob's RV and just all, you know, kind of winding down from the day. You know, some of us are a little spun, but, you know, like I stayed sober. I was just kind of chilling, just staying awake till 8 a.m. every night. But then all of a sudden this kid just walks into the RV. So I'm sitting here, like, literally just like this, like on Rob's couch.
Mm-hmm.
He's right here. We had a couple people over here, and the door's right here. This kid walks in, and I see him, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, I didn't notice the gash or anything, and I'm like thinking, because Rob has had people coming in and out all day.
Okay.
Like, all day and all night, and I was just like, oh, whatever. And then it hit me like a second later, because I looked over at Rob, he looked at me, we looked at him. And then it was just like, hey, bud, what are you doing? And he just comes in and goes, I've already alerted the authorities. I've already called the cops. I want Electric Forest to happen for years and centuries and millenniums to come. Not kidding when I say this shit. This is real shit. This is one of those stories that you just hear.
Yeah.
It's not something you ever think you're gonna live through.
Right.
So this kid comes in, and then we're like, all right, bud, like, calm down. Let's all go outside, smoke a cig. Let's just relax, breathe. We get up. Rob and I stand up, and then he's like, you're gonna kill me! Falls backwards out of the RV door, slams down on the ground, gets up, And we had a table right outside the door with a pair of scissors. The kid gets up, grabs the scissors, and by this time, Rob and I are both outside, and we're like, hey, man, like, take it easy.
Yep.
Take it easy. And this kid's, like, tripping so hard. Like, he is so fucked up. And we're all just, like, trying to make sure he doesn't hurt himself or hurt anybody else, or he's just going to be okay. Mm-hmm. And so he's holding these scissors up, like he's going to come after us. Mm-hmm. And then Rob just goes, drop those fucking scissors now! I paid $12 for those! The kid looks at him like they're $1 million and drops them. Just fucking drops them, and then he's like, I'm sorry! And then he goes to turn around and run and slams into someone's hood of their car. Falls over, and then we all go over to him. We're like, hey man, we're not going to hurt you. Calm down, calm down. Like, we talk to him. We get him good. We get a hold of, like, the medical people. They come over. Now, this is where the story gets fucking nuts to me. The fucking, like, it's just really quick. Medical people come over, and they go, hey, Russell, remember us from yesterday? And then that's when everybody was like, dude, like, if you were there yesterday, you need to stop what you're doing.
Right. Because
now you're going back again today.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was
learned his lesson.
That was like probably that was the craziest experience. Like when I say like crazy, like it wasn't like, oh my god, that was so cool. Like no, that was just fucking terrifying and crazy. Right. But it was just like, thinking back on it, it's like when Rob told him to drop the scissors and he looked at them like they were a fucking diamond like studded gold bar. And he just drops them was the funniest shit ever. Like, and the fact that Rob just goes, I paid $12 for that. I was like, oh my god. Oh man, dude, it was wild. It was wild. And then that same night we had another guy come over that was really fucked up too, and he had his pants at his ankles. And he was doing one of those things where he's just like walking around, but this kid was so messed up that he didn't even know his name. He didn't know where he was, who he was, anything. Mm-hmm. The next week, his picture got posted in the Electric Forest family group, and he was stuck in a permanent drug psychosis. This kid was so fucked up that he was just gone. Know your limits, people. Yeah. Right. Straight up gone. Yeah. It was insane. When his picture got posted, and then one of our fam group, fucking one of the members like screenshotted it and posted it in our group and was just like, yo, wasn't this that dude? And we were like, yo, that was that dude. And it was just like, holy shit. But then the rest of the night we were all like, are we gonna have anybody else kind of wander over here? Right, like we were all just chilling, just waiting. Yeah. Just waiting for it. And then when it came to sunrise, I mean, Rob pulls out these two giant fucking speakers and then just starts playing the Circle of Life, and we're all standing on top of his RV. Well, it's just like, the sun's coming up. It was, oh god, it was just like one of the most wild nights I've ever been a part of. And it was like, after like the song was over, I was like, I called my wife because she was at home. I called her and I was just like, I told her about it really quick. I had woke. This was like 6 a.m. I call her and I'm telling her about everything, and she's like just waking up. She goes, "You're gonna be okay. It's okay." And I'm like sitting there like laying in the bed in the RV, just like, what the fuck just happened? Right. Like this was insane. Mm-hmm. And then right after that was Saturday night, and then right when I woke up, I just got in my car, didn't say anything to anybody, and just gone. Because everybody else was passed the fuck out. Yeah. I was just like, I'm going home. Yeah, I'm done. Okay, I'm not. I'll be back next week. Yeah. And then luckily the next week was a lot more relaxed. It was like a ghost town. Really? Because it was it wasn't sold out, mm-hmm. So it was like a ghost town. It was just like, it was crazy. Yeah. You could walk anywhere and swing your arms around, and not hit anybody. Yeah, that would be a cool experience. It was great. To do it, but it was super cool. It was interesting because it was like, when you got to go see some of the artists, like it was just like very mellow and more intimate. I'm sure. Yeah, way more intimate. Right? Yeah. Way better. Like I got to see Illenium like right up front and center. Nice. That shit was dope as fuck. Yeah. It was the first time I ever saw him. I was like, holy shit, this is so sick. Yeah. So yeah. That was a really great experience. Yeah. I mean, it was like, except for those times, like those were just like, that was like the one negative big thing that happened. Yeah. Every other thing was just like good vibes, just flowing, except for the California heat. Oof. Like 120 degrees outside. Jesus. Fucking A, dude. I'm standing on stage in almost all black. I don't know why I did that. And I'm
You're
standing
coming
on
from Michigan,
stage.
so.
No, yeah, exactly. And I'm standing on stage. I'm dancing. I literally was like every inch of me was just drenched.
Yeah.
By the time I was done. Ugh.
Yeah.
That felt so gross.
Yeah. So that was your 2018 year, right?
2017.
2017.
Yep.
Okay. And then I kind of want to jump up to 2019 because that was a really big year. And you had a lot going on. You got engaged. Which, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. Yep.
We got engaged actually in 2018.
Okay.
And then got married in 2019.
Married in 2019.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
And lots of big shows. You've opened up for some big acts. Go ahead and talk about those.
I mean, God, man, I've opened up for some of the biggest, like the people I've idolized, and it was just it's amazing. It's always a great experience being able to open for them and have a chance of talking to them.
Right.
And just kind of sitting down and getting to know them. Like Manic and his team, Manic Focus, and his whole team have I consider them family. I consider them cool as shit. Like I can call Joe, his brother, his manager, and call him up and just say hi. See how he's been. And sometimes he'll answer, sometimes he won't. Yeah. You know how it goes.
Right.
But it's just like one of those things where it's like I consider them, really close because I've opened up for them so many times. I've, worked my ass off for them because they are just so cool.
Yeah.
Always have been so cool with me. Always have been very giving and loving. So it's just always been great. Let's see, man. There's been a few that I played Christmas. Not the actual Christmas, the after party.
Oh, really?
Played the after party at Christmas. That was insane.
I bet.
That was wild.
I bet.
Let me see here. I played in the Royal Oak Music Theater. That was a huge bucket list.
Yeah.
That I got to cross off my list. Because I've always loved that theater.
Yeah.
It's fucking gorgeous.
It is.
So I got to play that. That was opening for the Floozies.
Nice.
In 2 months, I had 6 shows in the East Side, and that was just back to back to back to back to back shows, and it was just holy shit. And it was just super fun.
Yeah.
Got to play the Works before they shut it down. That was a fun experience.
Yeah.
That was a really interesting, fun experience. Let's think here. I played the Majestic a couple times. That was really great.
Is that was in KZoo?
No, that one is in Detroit
okay.
area. It's attached to the Magic Stick.
Okay.
So it's like the Majestic,
and
the Magic Stick, and then they have the bowling alley right next to it.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, 2019 was a full year. It really was.
Yeah. And to cap it off with, your New Year's Eve show, which...
Yeah, capped it off with going back-to-back with my homie Flutter. I mean, that was just holy shit. That was probably one of the most fun sets I've ever played. I don't remember the first half of it.
Yeah.
I was a little drunk.
Yeah.
Got a little too tipsy real quick.
Yeah.
A little too tipsy right off the bat.
Yeah.
We got to the green room, and I immediately poured tequila and orange juice and just started walking around with it. And then, so that was a good time.
Right on.
But yeah, I got married in September. That was a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just...
Is that a Michigan wedding?
Yeah. It was very intimate. We only had 32 people there.
Really? Okay.
Just our friends and really close friends and family, and just kind of hung out with them and just relax.
Was it in Grand Haven or?
No, it was actually in Baldwin at a yurt. I don't know if you know what a yurt is.
Yurt?
It's like a circular cabin that's it's made of weatherproof. Can't remember what it's called, plastic or whatever.
Okay.
And it's just super cool.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous fucking place. And
right
we want to go back for our anniversary because it's just such a nice place.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was definitely a full year. Definitely a full year of just go.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have time to work on music during that time, or is it
during the wedding? Yeah. During the wedding, I brought my laptop and everything.
Yeah.
I sat down actually wedding day right away in the morning. I made coffee. The wife she left because she had to go get her hair and makeup and stuff done, and so and then Josh, he was her man of honor. My best man is named Riley Clark. I've known him since we were really little.
Yeah.
20 plus years.
Yeah.
And so him and I, Riley was out doing stuff, getting himself ready and all this stuff. And Josh's boyfriend, Adam, was there trying to help out too. Mm-hmm. I'm just sitting there making music, doing my thing. It's wedding day. I'm not focused on anything but right here with my coffee.
Yeah.
And then I'm like sitting there talking to Adam, like, oh, let's have a beer. Let's get some drinks. Let's do this. And then Adam's like, Colin, you have 3 hours until you get married. So I'm like, oh shit. Like that's when it was just like slap to the face. Like, I gotta get ready. I'm getting married. Oh god. Like sort of like freaking out. I'm like, okay. And then it just turned into like Groomzilla. Yeah. Like it was just like, get this here. This has to be perfect. This has to be perfect. We had this like whole setup. Like my wife, she crafted everything. So so Riley, my best man, and I, we made all the benches for everybody to sit on. Mm. We made the archway that we got married under. Wow. And then my wife, she made all the decorations and stuff that for the wedding. And so we're sitting there like trying to get everything all decorated and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Like we're just trying to get ready. I'm sitting there trying to not freak out. I'm literally, as we're like getting done, we have guests pulling up. I'm in sweatpants, sweatshirt, my hair's all fucked up, and I'm sitting there just like, hey, I'm not even close to ready, but so you can just park over there, meander, enjoy. Luckily, it was just my wife's biological father. Okay. And her stepdad was the one I was talking about earlier.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it was just her biological father. He came to, his name's Alex. He came to come and take photos and stuff. And so I'm just like, I gotta go get ready and all this shit. So I had to go. I still hadn't taken a shower. I hadn't done any of that yet. And then luckily though, it all worked out. It all worked out perfectly because I got to go take a shower. And as soon as I was done showering and getting myself completely dressed and ready, all the other guests were arriving. I mean, it was beautiful weather, not too hot, not cold at all. Mm-hmm. And then by the time I was done and everybody was there, she showed up to go and get the rest of herself ready. And then, I did something that I told her sister, because her sister, she officiated our wedding. Okay. She was she was there with me, like pretty much holding my hand the whole time. Because I was just like, there was a moment I'll never forget. It was a moment where like everything felt like I just had a black hole just suck everything in. It was like reality moment. Yeah, you're getting married, bro. Mm-hmm. And it was like it was a great feeling. It wasn't like, oh my god, I'm scared, I'm getting cold feet. Yeah. No, it wasn't like that at all. It was just more of those like, okay, like this is happening. Yeah, this is really happening. Yeah. And so when I was standing up under the archway waiting for Molly to come walking up. Like, as she was walking up, I closed my eyes and just waited until she was right in front of me. And I'm not even kidding. The moment I opened my eyes, I started bawling. Started bawling my eyes out. It was just like, holy shit, And then, the rest is, he had a great night. The whole wedding party that we had, they all came back to the yurt to, like, camp. And,
oh, sweet. Cool.
Like, we all had this they had this really, like, the guy that runs the yurt is dope as shit. Yeah. His name's Michael Holcomb. Okay. But yeah, he's cool as shit. Like, super nice guy. We didn't get to actually meet him, but like we've talked to like briefly over online and stuff, and he's told us that he was really happy with our stay. There was there was a time, so we didn't realize that he had trail cams all over. And we were just going out to the front, like right out the front of the yurt and sitting down at the porch, or not at the porch, but at this like picnic table that he had, and just doing dabs. And then we realized there's a fucking trail cam watching us the whole time. Oops. We're just like, I mean, he didn't say anything, and I mean, if he does, I'd be like, dude, I won't do it again. Whatever, sorry, did not, whatever. We didn't do it inside, we did it outside. Yeah. But it was just like one of those moments. It was just so funny because it was like because I remember I'm sitting at the table and I'm doing my dab and I look up and I was like, "Fuck!" It was just like fuck moment because I just saw that. Right. But yeah, funny. Dude, all of 2019 was beautiful. Right on. And now we're starting 2020 and it's fucking absolutely chaotic as shit in our world.
Let's talk about it. What's going on? What do you got coming up on the horizon?
I mean, I'm headlining the Unbirthday party in Muskegon. I have wanted to do this for so long. I call it the rite of passage. Being able to play that show. Oh yeah, who's putting that on? They go by Pocket Sand Productions. Okay. Jay Ruggiero and John Gray. Okay. I really love both of them. They're just absolutely great. So that's it. The Sherman Bowling Alley in the banquet room. It's called the Unbirthday Party. I get to headline that. Been wanting that chance for a really long time, so like the fact that it's like happening is just like holy shit. Sweet. And then the next day, I'm direct support for artists called Arm & Hammer at Electricity. They're
Huge.
like very, very feelsy, very future bass, and I'm pumped for that.
Oh yeah.
It'll be a nice, like, it'll be a change of pace because it was like I've been constantly playing bass shows, and so being able to like kind of go back to the future bass roots for a minute will be cool.
Yeah.
And then the next month, and then this Monday we're announcing a song release. Going to be releasing not on Monday, but we're releasing the announcement. I should say we're announcing the release for the remix I did for Grand Rapids band Timeless.
Okay.
They're really like, these guys are gonna blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
Like, I remixed their newest song called Stay Alive. I fell in love with it. It's just that it's such a good song, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to try something with this, and they let me.
Nice.
And so we're gonna be announcing that release on Monday, and then I have 2 shows in March, both in Colorado in the same week.
Wow.
So that's
nice.
One's in Fort Collins, and then the next one's in Denver, opening up Cervantes for Manic Focus.
Wow, that's a big venue.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's a big venue.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
Manic and his team asked me to come and open for that.
Congrats,
so
man. That's
thank
fucking
you.
sick.
I was pretty pumped when they asked. I was like,
yeah.
yup, full send.
Let's make this the thing.
That's a full yeet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's gonna be great. And then got a whole bunch of new music that I'm gonna be. Like, I've been taking a pretty long extended break on producing just because it's just, I was go for so long with it that I just wanted to take time to myself, play video games, relax, go to work, get just try to get finances right and stuff, especially before the trip.
Yeah.
And then, so right now I'm just kind of doing my thing, and then, I have Flutter, like I was to mention him earlier. Whoever's listening, go follow that kid. Do it. He is always constantly getting on my ass. He's like, stop taking your break. Get back to work. I'm like, fuck you, bro. Taking my goddamn break, and I will be, once I get done, I'll write 4 songs.
Yeah.
And then I'll be good.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So, but no, dude, that, like I said, I told you before, that kid is like constantly writing music. Like, him and I were having that conversation the other day. It was just like, he says, like, if he's not writing music, he's depressed.
Really?
And I'm like, dog, if I write too much and then I hit a block, that's when I get depressed. That's why I take breaks.
Right.
Because I'm like, if I keep writing, I'm gonna run into a block, and then I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna be able to do anything.
Right.
And then I'm just gonna get mad and then not want to touch it. So it was like, so that's why I'm taking that like little bit of like break, go play out music that I've made, go and test it out, see, get ready for different releases and stuff like that.
Right on.
So that's where I'm at right now. I adopted a dog in the last year.
Hey,
that was cool.
Right on.
We've had her for just over a year and 2 months.
Okay.
She was pretty cool.
What breed?
She's a mini Australian Shepherd, but we think she's a mini Aussie Pomeranian.
Ooh, really?
Oh, she's so fucking cute.
Yeah, she like tiny puffball.
Like, she's like, I call her my little Vienna sausage, because she's shaped like a fucking sausage, and I love it.
Yeah.
She's like picture like, so like when she tries to like itch her butt or like bite at her butt, she looks like you're taking one of like a sausage and bending it. Like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then if you like push her over like on like the bed or something, and she rolls, she looks like a barrel. She's my little mini keg.
Oh yeah.
I love her to death, man. And
that's awesome.
So yeah, those are like the really big updates in my life. I mean, it's just, I'm just really happy where I'm at right now. I got a really good job now. I make good money. I'm just still making music, still doing my thing, still chasing that dream.
Oh, yeah,
no
man.
matter what. I mean, I look at it this way. Fame isn't something that I absolutely desire in life. It would be cool.
Yeah.
But as long as I can keep making music and putting it out there and having it be heard, that's all I care about.
Doing what you love, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's all
Doing
about.
what I love.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Being able to, hopefully my biggest dream is to be able to not work a day job and be able to support my family on this.
Yeah.
On music.
Yeah.
And being able to just create and enjoy life, wake up when I want to.
Right, exactly.
Not be like, I have to be up at 7 a.m. every day.
Right.
I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
That's my goal, and I'm sure that's a lot of people's goals.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hopefully you get there one day, man. I'm
one
sure.
Day.
One
day.
You put in the time so far, and it looks like that's kind of where it's heading. So.
Yeah. Manifest, believe.
Right. You got to see it before you can start believing it. Right. So. Right.
It's true, man. Oh, it will be good.
There was actually another thing that I had on here.
Okay.
We had Toxin on. used to be known as Fry Bread.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And he wanted me to bring up the first show that you did with Fry Bread at Base Circus. Do you remember that show?
Oh my god.
And what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. It was.
Okay.
It wasn't like. This was. So the Base Circus was in Muskegon, and the first show. That was the first time I ever. I think that was the first time I ever played with him and John Stamper.
Okay.
Dissonance.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the first times that I ever actually played with them, and I mean, it was like we played for 5 people. 4 of them were the staff.
Really?
So it's just like. It was just like one of those times, man. It's like, you look back on it and it's humbling.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
Right.
Like, all of us have come a very long way since then.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Chris's, like, new project is sounding amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that he just said, he was like, I'm going for it. I'm
Yeah.
going for drum and bass. That's what I want to do. That's,
Right.
Who I am.
Yeah.
And he just jumped at it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, the music that I've heard from him is fucking... Holy shit,
dude, I
dude!
like it, yeah.
He's doing really well. Like
It's a bold thing to do too. Fucking just.
Oh yeah, I'm very proud of him, man. Very proud of him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, him and I when we first met, I've always been the kind of person that's very sensitive, and so it's like if I feel like you're offending me, I'll immediately be like, "Are you being an asshole right now? or like, are we beefing?"
Yeah.
And then, so I thought there was one time that I was up on the decks. I was very self-conscious of being, like, DJing. This is when I was first starting.
Mm-hmm.
This was at, when the log cabin used to be, not bass elements, but something, but what was it? It was the local show they threw there before bass elements happened. And I was sitting up there, and I fucked up a transition, and Fry Bread's like, "Oh, so we're here now!" I'll never forget this, because I just got mad. I was just like, fucker! Like, I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, such an asshole. Such an asshole. And then I realized, no, he wasn't being an asshole at all. Like, it was just, I fucked up. And he was just, poking fun. And it was just like I said, though, I was so self-conscious back then that, like, I immediately got, upset. But but then thinking about it, like, I was so silly to be upset. So silly to be upset because it was just like, because Fry Bread's such a cool guy.
Yeah.
Like, always has been such a nice guy.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, and when we did the interview, it seems like really down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Very down to earth, very, very relaxed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like sometimes he's like so relaxed. I'm like, do you have emotion?
Definitely got that vibe.
He has such a bright future in drum and bass just by hearing what he's already put out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like you went from here to here, like in a matter of just switching a project and going to a whole new level.
Right.
Like,
and
really
social media is saying this could be the year of drum and bass. So.
Oh, it definitely, dude. I mean, drum and bass is I've always felt like drum and bass has always like fluctuated.
Yeah.
But like recently, I feel like it's finally getting like the recognition it deserves.
Yeah.
And I always get a little upset when people say like house music isn't as big as everybody, like isn't that big. I'm like, bitch, it's huge. Like house music is the biggest electronic genre in the world.
Right. And
techno, like those two are fucking massive.
Where it was birthed
There's
from.
literally a festival dedicated to it.
Right. Multiple.
Like, how can you sit there and be like, where's the house music at? Everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
Everywhere.
It is everywhere. Yep.
Like, you go down to Chicago, you can find 5 clubs every night that just play strictly house.
Right. If there's anything you want to personally either promote or... I
mean, I got a bunch of shows coming up that I'm pumped about.
Yeah, I saw you might have a collab with Super Future, right?
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
We do. It's been in the works for a little while now.
Are you allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, definitely. Now... I've him and I I've been like, dude, when can I say this? When can I say this?
Yeah.
And then finally he went and announced it, and I'm like, bitch, you didn't even tell me you were gonna do this. You fuck. I'm like, then I was like, all right, now I'm just gonna go do it. So yeah, no, it's been something that him and I like have talked about for years, and then like he's had people come up to him, I've had people come up to me, and say like, you two need to collab, and finally it's coming into fruition.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude, Nick is a whole nother story. That kid he's going to be like this is his year. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Right? Like,
touring with Rec now, fucking just, he's going to, like, I told him yesterday, because I listened to his mix, and listened to a bunch of like the unreleased songs that he has, and I just was like, dude, like you're gonna lead the charge on a whole new genre. Like he is.
Yeah.
Like it's just with sound design and everything that he's doing right now, like people are gonna start copying him.
Yeah, pushing boundaries, man.
Oh, fuck
that's
yeah.
a huge part of it.
It's
for me.
insane. It's insane to watch
Yeah.
somebody that you know create something you've never heard before.
Right. And that's
And
why
it's just like
recently I've been a big fan of the Wakan label.
oh,
and
of
that
course.
sound.
Subcarbon is like probably my favorite.
Really?
Ganja White Knight has jumped to my number one.
Dude, we caught them at Lost Lands, and they were. I've seen them a couple times, but I'm really, really stoked on their new album.
Oh
Diverse
God,
and
so
just-
good,
yeah, mhm.
so good.
So good, yeah, right.
Exactly.
So,
It's all about stage presence.
It
Like
is.
stage presence and knowing the basics
Yeah.
of mixing.
Yeah.
It really is.
there was an interview with Grizz that I remember from a long time, like when he was first coming up, and he was doing impersonations of DJs and like their styles and what they were doing, and he would do like bass nectar like this, you know, and
Oh, I remember this interview.
You remember that?
He did the Pretty Lights.
Yeah, just like the.
Oh, I forget
Yeah,
that.
that was good shit. That was good shit. But that's a part of it. It really is. You know, like that's,
Grizz is just like
he does the 1 foot thing, right? Yeah.
he does the 1 foot with the hand up.
Yeah.
This is Grizz right here, right here.
Do you have
Great.
yours? Do you have your?
I just
your
I've
stage
been
go-to?
told that I do what I had one person, they told me that they call it the flats bounce, and when I'm on stage I'm just bouncing. I like the whole time and I never realized it until they said it.
Yeah. I'm
And
sure,
then
like,
now
a lot of
I'm
people
constantly thinking about like when I'm up there I'm constantly like, damn, I am bouncing. Just bouncing up and down. So yeah, I
That's
guess
funny.
that's like my little thing is just like I bounce from side to side, like I'll jump from foot to foot type deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been trying to like kind of get more, instead of just super like toned in, I try to just kind of let myself be free with it.
Yeah. Right on. Well, I think we can wrap it up there. Flat Stanley, thank you so much for joining us. This is a hell
Thank
of
you
an
so
interview. And good luck with your future endeavors and your trip to Colorado, and best of luck
Sweet.
in the future. So,
Thank you, man. I
all right.
appreciate you having me. Thank you so much. And
course.
everybody listening, follow Flutter.
Big things
Love
coming.
y'all.
All right, thanks for
All
catching
right, see you
the
later.
vibe. Perfect.
Go.
Feel the motherfucking vibe.